So we haven't had food in this community, like real food in this community, for half a century. Double the rate of cancer, double the rate of stroke, double the rate of heart disease, double the rate of diabetes, and double the rate of childhood obesity than the county we're in.
About 1 in 10 Americans do not have access to a grocery store that sells fresh food. That's called living in a food desert. There are 40 of them that blanket the city of Dallas. But it's not like we don't have enough food in this country. So why can't we fix this?
The American grocery industry is a roughly $700 billion business, with more than 41,000 supermarkets and grocery stores in the U.S. as of 2020.
So we're on our way to go see Jaretha, a mother of 3 kids. She's 26 years old. She works overnight. Nice to meet you. I'm David.
Jaretha lives in a food desert, and I'm gonna go shopping with her. By bus, the easiest grocery store to get to is Walmart, and it's 8 miles away.
This is time you could be spending with your kids. They're home right now. You got to go to the grocery store.
Waste of time sometimes, but you know, I have to do what I have to do.
Looking at the map, it says it's going to be 48 minutes to get to the grocery store.
It's hard. We have to travel far just to get to where we're going because of us lacking, a car.
And because it's so hard, many people won't make this trip. They'll go to the corner store where you can't get fresh food. But that's not what Jaretha wants for her kids.
I love to see fresh food, and the smell of the tomatoes is pleasant, anything fresh is pleasant, of course.
But getting fresh food is ultimately a 3-hour round trip. I'm giving her a hand today, but usually she only has 2 hands to carry everything back.
This issue of food and getting the food, how hard is that for you on your life?
It's very hard. So I go to Family Dollar or something like that, where I know they have a little ground meat or whatever. I'll just have to settle, but it can be frustrating.
In areas without a grocery store, the government says there's an increase in obesity and chronic diseases. To fix that problem, Dallas Council member Casey Thomas wants more grocery stores.
How many do you think you need? How many would you like to see built?
As many as possible. Maybe 10, 20.
For 2 years, Thomas has been trying to get a store to open in this space in southern Dallas. It's been empty for a decade. The city offered any grocery chain $3 million to take it over. No one was interested.
When you have as many options as they have, this has not been their choice. Some of it has been
even if you offer them $3 million?
$3 million.
I talked to a grocery industry expert who says it is hard for a big supermarket to make a profit in a food desert. That's because residents generally have less money to spend, and it can cost grocers more for security and loss prevention.
Do you agree with the reasons that the grocery store chains give for not being able to do business in your neighborhoods here?
Based on their model, I accept that. I don't believe that to be true from the standpoint of you can make money. You can make money because people will buy groceries.
While grocery stores largely remain elusive in many of America's food deserts, dollar stores have proliferated. Dollar stores tend to target underserved urban communities that lack full-service grocery stores, and their footprint is on the rise in the U.S. Dollar Tree and Dollar General have expanded 50% since 2011, and the 2 chains have indicated that they have plans for an additional 20,000 outlets. But the problem with dollar stores is that they rarely ever offer fresh produce. Instead, think processed goods that have long shelf life, like cookies and canned meats.
There are really no viable food options. And it's crazy to me because people that live literally 3 to 5 miles away have 2 grocery stores, and that just so happens to be in a white neighborhood. Why is it that they have options and I don't? And just because I don't have the money that they have doesn't mean that I shouldn't have the access to food that they have. So this is a convenience store that is pretty close to my mom's house. And it's one of the only options that we have for food and groceries. They don't have any fresh food. They have a lot of canned and processed stuff. It's not the best, but it's kind of like all we have in this community.
When it comes to having healthy food options, low-income communities of color have suffered for decades as fresh and affordable food options fled their neighborhoods. In areas where grocery stores are scarce, fast food, carry-out, and corner stores may be the only food access option. Like the dollar store, corner stores typically stock highly processed foods and rarely ever offer fresh produce. Research has linked a poor diet to a range of health issues like high blood pressure, heart disease, diabetes, and cancer.